I'm here today to talk to you, yes, you, about what it is to be disabled in an abled world. Like to be inside that world where you are a disabled person and you have no choice. There is no cure for what I've got. I'm invisibly disabled. I have schizoaffective disorder, PTSD, and anxiety. Schizoaffective disorder is bipolar and schizophrenia at the same time. So all this stuff works. It does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't hurt. Yeah, but coming from the perspective of a mentally ill woman, that is my lane, and that is my canvas, and that is what I'm here to talk about. Inside this mind is a carousel of symptoms that shouldn't frighten anyone, though I totally understand, especially I hate it because it fucks with my life and how people react to me. But I hate the fact that in the society that I was born into by no choice of my own, people associate mental illness with something repugnant, disgusting, to stay away from, a deal breaker, someone that should be locked up, someone that's going to kill you or hurt you, even just someone that should die so they could not be a drain or a burden of a public charge. Use that terrible word, which has been used lately by certain rather neo-Nazi groups like our government. It's dire. The situation for disabled people in Trump's America is pretty damn dire. Because for all that Trump appears to be going down, there are a damn lot of Republicans up there who want to strip the social safety net, are deep down fundamentally Nazis, and think people like me, like people in wheelchairs, like people with any sort of disability you can imagine, there are a lot. 10 or 11 meds a day, which I do. And there are people who take even more of them. And there are people who can't get the meds they need, like the insulin problem, where diabetics are actually dying all over because insulin has become so expensive. I mean, there's a health crisis in America, Trump's America, the Trumpocalypse, as it's become. The crisis is not at the border, except for all those locked up children. The crisis is that people are dying because they had the misfortune, or maybe not misfortune, but it just happened. They just happened to be born disabled into a culture where people think that life is not valuable. And that is the most fundamental tenet of ableism, that our lives, disabled people, are not valuable. That we are not productive, not giving back to society because we can't work, or can only work like a little, do different things other than working. I think of the things I create, because I create them all for free, as my way of giving back to the world and providing to them something and being productive. But I must say there's a toll to that too. I don't have privacy. I had to give that up long ago. And I must keep a strict level of security because a lot of scary shit out there. But you can probably kind of tell by the haunted look that crept into my eyes that I've seen some of it already. And no, I did not like it. So, I see it as such a blessing that the government sees fit to help me in my time of need, which is not really going to ever end because there is no cure. I will never be able to work again. And if you think I can, watch some more of these videos and it will quickly, quickly come clear to you. Not so much. And I take like 10 or 12 meds twice a day. And all those meds really seem to do, because they don't block out the symptoms necessarily. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I'm not really as depressed now, I'm not suicidal anymore. Yay. But I mean, I'm lucky enough to have in my schizoaffective disorder what I call a gentle schizophrenia. Been there. People find psychosis so terrifying, which I never understood until I met a mentally ill woman with a similar diagnosis who saw horrible, terrifying things that she couldn't differentiate from reality. Then it was like, oh, now I get it. Why people are afraid of that. And my person would scare her. I mean, my God, I was more concerned about her. What this woman saw, which scared both of us, was, and indeed brought up the question of, are the schizophrenic psychic, or is that just one of the many delusions we have? She saw, as I was talking about my great aunt Hester, who was probably a witch burned at the Salem witch trials, her death date, her location, it all matches up. 1694, Massachusetts. Yeah. So I was talking about my great aunt Hester from way back in the day, and we were looking into each other's eyes. Okay, romantically. And she saw my eyes turn completely black. And, wow. You know, I mean, I don't know if that was a sign. I saw it as a sign. It could just be psychosis. And indeed, we'll never know. Because I look sometimes, certainly not now in my little, you know, pajamas, which I'm wearing because it's the middle of the goddamn night and I'm not gonna wear clothes. And also because a lot of disabled people do spend a lot of time in bed, whether physically or psychologically. I mean, fibromyalgia, like my aunt, you're in pain. You have trouble moving. I mean, sometimes for me, I get too depressed and I can't get out of bed. I've only been doing better lately. Some positive things have been happening. 2019 seems to be looking up, and I discovered some new creative outlets such as this, which is great. But you know, bed is an important place. Some people find bed important for sleep. Some people find bed important for sex. People with depression and a lot of other physical disabilities sometimes can't leave their beds for days at a time. The bed becomes your entire world. Function. But functioning inside a house, throwing bits of art into the void, is about all I can do. I mean, and I've gotten a lot of this, so I know people do this. You'd think people wouldn't, but people are terrible. Please don't think you have the right to ask a disabled person about their finances, about how they pay for things. Would you ask an able person that? That is none of your goddamn business. So, not so much. Okay. And if you have things to say about people who accept government benefits, or if you want to say something about wingnut welfare, you can just keep that shit out of my mentions. I am not here for that. That will not even make it onto the page because I will delete your comment and report you. Just FYI. So we're there. Okay. But now that I've gotten that out of the way, and I do hate to be so hostile, but the problem with that is, and the reason why sometimes that is necessary, is because people are so hostile to the mentally ill. And we do have to sometimes set boundaries. That was a boundary I was saying. Please do not say things like that in the comments, and they will not even make it onto the page. Because I know my viral video of schizoaffective disorder got the most horrid comments popping into my email inbox for 3 years after I made it, when I had really changed and grown up as a person and wasn't. I mean, I was still making YouTube videos because I'm a creative person, but I was making different sorts and getting better results. So I do realize I will have to disable the comments because I am predicting people hating on this. And I must say, if you hate me for being mentally ill and writing still, that's ableist. Just say you hate mentally ill people and go. Get the fuck out of my life. You are not my audience. Okay. Glad we're clear.